What is up, YouTube? I am so excited to be here. I have been waiting to do this for a very long time now. It was just a matter of a few things being kind of laid out for me, and I've been redoing this intro for way too long, so if I just keep holding it off, I'm never gonna get it done. So I'm just gonna jump right into the Q&A. Thank you for watching this video. I don't know what brought you here, but I hope you get something out of it and learn a little bit about me and why I'll be starting this channel. So, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. All right, let's hop right into the video. So the first question that I got was, where do you work at? I thought I would just throw that out there because I've been through a few different jobs, I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to what I'm doing throughout the week, I would like to enjoy it. So I've been serving for a little while, and then I kind of realized that that wasn't for me, and that's okay. It's a lot of stress to take on. So right now I'm actually working at GNC, which is a supplement store, and I've been working there for about a month and a half now, and I picked a job that I could take into the nursing program when I get in, hopefully next summer, fingers crossed. So yeah, it's very chill, and I like it a lot so far. So the next question is, who did you go to learn about fitness when you started? So honestly, when I started, it's probably about 5 years ago, and it's hard for me to like really remember why I even got into fitness. I can go into that in like a different video, but I do remember like who were my biggest inspirations when I was trying to like learn everything, and that definitely was just like all the fitness influencers. You probably know all of them. Christian Guzman, Whitney Simmons, Nikki Blacketer, who else? Heidi Summers, just all of those fitness YouTubers. I would literally watch their videos on end and just write down all of their workouts and then go in and do them, because honestly, like, if I went in without any knowledge, I would probably be standing there like a freaking weirdo. Like, I don't think I would have had the courage to actually go in and do it. So those were like the main people who I went to. I didn't really have anyone in my life who was really into fitness at that time. I started when I was like 15 and was like like high school. So yeah, I was doing like weight training for a little while, but so I guess you could say like my weight training teacher, she might have been a big impact in my life too. Next question is, what do you want to do with your career? So as I had previously stated, I plan on getting into the nursing program. So I'm majoring in pre-nursing right now, and that is going to be that's my goal right now. I was very uncertain of what I wanted it to do, especially around like my freshman year. I kind of like went in without really knowing, and I just figured, oh, I like fitness, like just go into exercise science, why not? So I think that's kind of what like everybody does, unless you've had like a legit goal since you were young and knew what you wanted to do. If you did, more power to you. I wish I knew, but everyone knows what it's like to kind of like teeter back and forth with what you want to do. So yeah, I plan on graduating in winter of 2022, I believe. I've actually never even really thought of that, as bad as that might sound. So yeah, nursing is my career path right now. Next question, what would your advice be to someone who feels that God is distant or absent at some time. And I really liked this question, and I'm glad that someone asked this, because personally I know what it's like to feel like he is distant. I feel like that's been my biggest struggle with my faith, is obviously like if you feel like he's not there, or not listening to you as much as he makes himself evident to other people, it starts to get really discouraging. And I think it's a lot easier said than done, but honestly at the end of the day, all it comes down to is your faith and where that stands. And I know like a lot of people just say like, oh, just have faith, like things will come around, but I think that it needs to be dived in deeper into, because it's not just, oh, have faith. Like some people don't know what that exactly means. And a good verse that I think helps like kind of emphasize that is Romans 10:17, where it says that faith comes from hearing, and hearing through the word of Christ. So whatever that may be, it's honestly just, it comes down to your relationship with him. So for me, I was never really one to read my Bible. It was very hard for me to like wake up and want to do it. And so whenever I felt like it was more like a chore that I was doing, I honestly took a step back, because that's not what a relationship with God is about. So I waited until, like I don't know, I had that like tug on my heart. And lately that's exactly what it's been. Like my faith hasn't really been like super strong until probably last year. And right now I am reading a book, I forget what it's called. I actually have it somewhere around in my room. I think it's like 52 Ways to Pray or something. I found it through this sermon that I was listening to, and it just gives you different ways that you can talk to God, because when you feel that he's distant, it's probably because you're not reaching out. Like you have to, like I said, faith comes from hearing, and hearing the word of God. So you have to be invested into that relationship, or else you're not going to even be giving him the opportunity to necessarily talk to you or give you any type of like reassurance in life, if that makes sense. And I was watching this sermon not too long ago, and it actually kind of hit me, because it sounds silly, but like he said 100% of prayers that aren't prayed go unanswered. So if you're not praying, then of course you're not going to get any type of communication with God. And I actually kind of like formed my own. I was writing like a bunch of notes, and what stuck out to me was I feel like a lot of us, we always rationalize like our relationships here on earth, and how like, oh, if this person isn't putting an effort, then I'm just gonna let them go. Like you have to realize like that is like how God is feeling. Obviously he's not gonna like cut us off, but if we're just only going to him in times of need, then it's going to be very hard for us to even grow on top of like the foundation that we have. So that was just like, that was kind of like relatable to me, because I was like, wow, like I'm like, if they're not gonna put in the same effort, and they are only gonna hit me up when they need me, then why should I try? So that is kind of how I've always viewed it, and it's honestly just, you just have to be patient. He speaks to us in very different ways, and you have to learn that how he speaks to someone else isn't going to be how he talks to us. So just be patient, pray, and I am certain that he will give you answers in a matter of time, and it's on his time. So all right, next question. I kind of want to know what your milestones are. Like, where do you see this taking you? And they're obviously referencing YouTube. So, good question. A while back, I started a fitness channel, and it was honestly, I wanted to try it out. I didn't have a camera like I do now. It was just on my phone, and I think I made like 4 or 5 videos, and I was pretty consistent with doing that. But it got to a point where I was like, I didn't feel like I was really doing anything for like myself. And obviously, like, I know it's not for me, but I have to enjoy what I'm doing, and I felt like I was just like burnt out by it almost. And I felt like there was like more that I had to offer. So I wanted to start this YouTube channel because I want it to be about more than just workouts. Like, of course I'll add that because that's like a huge part of me and that's what I love doing, but I want to touch people in ways that I can't do, you know, just in person. I don't know, for whoever does know me, I'm very introverted, and so I don't really put myself out there very much, and I feel like I have a lot to say and a lot to share with people. So I took time to pray about this, and I just want to use this as a way to glorify God in pretty much all that I do. So this channel, I hope, will just be an inspiration for people in the fitness world and their faith and just like their careers, because I'm going to be balancing this with nursing, and that's going to be interesting. So yeah, that's kind of, I don't have like an end goal right now. I wanted to just start it and see where it takes me, and I just have to be patient and see, I don't know, what God has in store for me with this. So that is the current goal right now. All right, the next question is, what makes you happy and want to keep striving? This is a really good question. Honestly, I didn't put much thought into this question when answering it, but first thing that comes to mind is probably just making other people happy. And I know that sounds cheesy and like almost cliche, but genuinely, like, I love when I know that I've made an impact on somebody's life. Like, I wish that I had enough time in the world to just slow it all down and like really dive in deep with some people, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. I want to see everybody happy, and I want the absolute best for anybody. Like, I've had like my ups and downs with people, but at the end of the day, like, what makes me happy is knowing that they are now happy with their life. Like, yeah, I feel like that's enough said. Were you brought up in faith, or were you introduced to God later on? What's the story there? So my foundation in Christ started when I was very young. I was brought up in a Christian home. Both of my parents were Christian. It wasn't until probably year of 2014 that I would say my faith, I guess, had like first taken its kind of like questioning, I guess. And that was because in 2014 my parents got divorced, and I was the only child. Or not the only child, I was the oldest sibling. I'm sorry Shay, love you. But yeah, so I've always been grown up Christian, but I think that like during that time, that was when I like really kind of felt like I was alone, I guess, because I didn't really talk about my feelings to very many people. Of course, a 14-year-old like girl doesn't, I don't know, like I don't want to just like blat out. What? Excuse me? Sorry. I don't want to just babble on about my problems to like my young friends. So that's when I found fitness. And later on, like in high school, I would say that I had like my most defining moments in my faith, because I was very introverted, and I think I was trying to put myself out there and be like a part of like the cool crew, I guess, with like my friends. And I realized like that wasn't for me. And so it wasn't until like college that I like really found myself, I would say. So yeah, I've been a Christian since I was like very young. I got baptized when I was 11. So sorry if you hear my dog in the back. He's a grump. All right, next question. What is my go-to gym song? Honestly, it really just depends on my mood. Like, I'll go in there, and some days I'll be literally like wanting to listen to country, and it's the weirdest thing ever. But I would say that like on a consistent basis, I like hip hop. And whoa, you'll learn that a lot about me is like I genuinely like all types of music. But right now I would probably say Tetris, and I think that's by like YK or something. Oh, what? Don't know who that is. Derek King, that's who that song is by. And that's only because it literally is just like, it gets me going, I don't know. So the next question is biggest insecurities and how do you power past them? Honestly, my biggest insecurity comes from, I just feel like my physical appearance. And I feel like the hardest part about that is because I'm in the gym, and like the fitness industry is very hard on like the standard of like what you have to look like, I feel like. And not to mention social media and everything else just plays a huge role into that. And I could go on and on and on about what I have to say about social media. And how I power past that is simply not allowing myself to get so invested into Instagram and all of these really aesthetic Instagram pages that I could sit there and like envy forever. But that's just like, I don't know, that's not who I am. Like, I've never really wanted that, I guess, for my life. And but back to my insecurity. Sorry, I go off on a tangent. Yeah, I feel like it's just like what I have to look like. And anytime that I'm not looking like that, I'm very hard on myself. And that's just like, it catches up to me a lot. And I have to like take a step back and remember like why I started in the first place. So, yeah, you just have to know like your worth. And I know that's easier said than done, but Instagram gets you so wrapped up in like what you're supposed to look like. And honestly, it's just like, it makes it lose all authenticity of who you are. And everyone honestly just starts to look the same. Like, you're using the same filters, you're at the same spot. Like, I don't know, I have too much to say about that one, but you know. Ultimate fitness goal. Do you want a career, compete, or is it just for fun? Right now, I would say that it's just for fun, because I've contemplated doing like a show, but I've seen my cousin do it and I've seen others do it, and I know how much it just messes with you. So I am in no rush to do that right now, especially with how much I have on my plate. I'm just going into my junior year of college, and I'll be starting the nursing program in the summer, and I honestly am a college student, so I do not have the funds, I guess, necessary to even do a show or anything. So right now I'm just doing it for fun. I like seeing what my body is capable of, but I have contemplated doing a show maybe after I graduate as like a, I guess, like a reward to myself, and do that like before I go into nursing and it just gets all crazy. So that is a decision for another time, but right now I just love the gym. So tips and tricks for freshmen. So I like this because my sister's friend actually asked me this, and my sister is just now she'll be going into high school this year, and if I could give a piece of advice, I would probably say don't get too wrapped up. Don't go into high school like, I don't know, just like be involved, but don't like try and fit into everything that you possibly can. Like, you're gonna be very confused going in if you're like just throwing yourself in all these things because you feel like you have to. Find what you like, and honestly just be friends with those people. Like, it's so good to have just a good group of friends, and I feel like for me, I was very like unsure of what I wanted, and I kind of hopped around, and finally, like, it wasn't even until my junior year that I finally was like, what am I doing? Like, I don't like going to parties, and I don't like drinking, and just, I noticed it wasn't for me. And if it is, that's fine. Like, I'm just saying, like, find out what you like and stick to that, because you can get wrapped up in a lot of drama. I'll put it that way. So, next question. Why did you start working out, and what's your current motivation or inspiration? I started working out because it was used as an outlet for like my parents' divorce, and I don't know, I just like randomly picked it up. My dad used to have a gym in his garage, and well, still does, and I kind of just started like messing around in there, and then I took weight training all 4 years in high school, and I just like, I don't know, I just fell in love with it. But my current motivation or inspiration would probably, oh man, honestly, my current motivation right now is just to like show people that you can do something that you love and not like, I don't know, like let other people's opinions get to you. Like, your body is your body, and I know so many people that are battling this right now, and I feel like it takes a little while, because once you go into the fitness industry, it is super overwhelming if you're like having all these different inspirations that you need to look like. One's curvy, one's, you know, little itty bitty, and I've kind of found like that happy medium, because for me, like, realistically, I know what my body is capable of, and I am just, I don't know, enjoying the process. So that would probably be like my inspiration, I guess, to other people. Yeah. So next question and final question is, would you ever date someone who is not religious but has faith in God? So this question, I am assuming that they are just talking about like believing in God, but not like, they're not like as strong as a Christian, I guess. I don't know, like maybe you don't go to church or something like that. But I think personally, like, this is a hard question. I think that you can definitely like be in a relationship with someone who believes in God, and it might work, but for me, I've noticed that unless someone is like completely invested in the relationship with Christ, it doesn't necessarily meet in the middle at the end of the day. Like, there's a lot of things that kind of have to be aligned in order to even pursue a relationship. Someone like for me, like, I look for someone who is putting God first. And I think that, sure, you could probably date someone and, you know, it would be okay, but I just feel like for me, like, I wouldn't be able to be as close to God if I wasn't in a relationship with someone where I was spending all of my days with, and like not able to do the things that I want to do, I guess. Like, I just want, for me, I just want someone who I can do like devotions with and go to church with and talk about just, you know, like struggles that we're having, and maybe just like pray that day if we're like both in a bad spot or just sad. Like, anything that happens, I want to be able to like give all glory to God. So I think that would, like, it would interfere at the end of the day, and I just don't see like how a believer and a non-believer could be together, if that makes sense. Like, you could probably date, but in thinking about marriage, which we all should be by dating, it wouldn't work. I don't know. I feel like things would come up down the road. Topics like premarital sex would be an issue if you're someone who is like a diehard, like you want that for your life. So yeah, I have dated non-believers, and I've just noticed that it kind of just sets me back in a sense. So that probably is my answer to that. So that's going to conclude this Q&A. I appreciate everyone who's taken the time to ask me questions, and I really hope that you got something out of this. I know I ramble a lot, and I am looking forward to whatever I do next. If you have any suggestions or things that you would like to see, please drop them down in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on the bell if you want to be notified when I post a video. So thank you for tuning in today, and I was so excited to be doing this, and I'm looking forward to whatever comes after this. Thanks for watching.